Weird, he must not have a nose where the poo-poo thing just popped up, but I was researching Maitland, 17-year-old found dead. DNA identified in search for Brianna Maitland, 17-year-old Vermont girl, 1 day ago. Okay? 17-year-old Vermont girl had been missing since 2004. I already wrote down March 19th, 2004. Today, 18 years ago today, she went missing. New evidence as of 1 day ago. Got DNA samples. 17-year-old found. Texas lab. Got a match. Well, they said no, there were 11 persons of interest. I just said I didn't last 11 adults. 17-year-old girl missing. This is on CBS. This is as of March 18, 22 at 1:43 p.m. CBS AP. Brianna. Bri. Okay. Alright, that's a lot for me to process. And it says, a DNA identified in the vicinity of Brianna Maitland's car. Local to 244 News. 22. She was 17 years old at the time. Now, case remains unsolved, and police have few answers. Alright. Wikipedia. Disappearance. Okay. Okay. Brianna. Oh my god, she's. I can't. Right. And Montgomery. Birchwood barn? Something wood barn. It went over a crayon or a... They're going to get some closure today. My friend up in Vermont, one of my friends, I have two fine gentlemen in Vermont. There is a difference between an officer and a gentleman. My father was once. Even no matter what he did with me, he was still an officer and a gentleman to everybody else. There was never anything sexual with us. Don't even go there. But when you're raised military, the oldest of three, you see things through a different lens than you do. And you see your father react. Especially if you're me, like anybody you've ever met. Me, and if I'm your friend, I'm telling you right now, you'll know, because you ain't never had a friend like me. There was a girl, she's disappeared, Montgomery, Vermont, 5'5", American, missing persons, parents Bruce and Kelly. In the days and the weeks following her disappearance, numerous tips investigated by law enforcement, including claim that Maitland was being held captive in a house occupied by local drug dealers, of whom she was acquainted. However, none of the tips resulted in her discovery. And then a lesser 2006 sighting of Maitland at a casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, brought renewed interest in the case, but the woman seemed never properly identified. 2012, law enforcement investigated popular disappearance serial killer Israel Keys, who committed numerous rapes, murders, Vermont, New York, Pacific Northwest, FBI, Dateline, Mari. Okay, as of 22, Maitland's disappearance remains unsolved. Background: early life, born October 8th. 1986. I'm writing it down. Brianna. Okay, I'm writing it in a pen. Brianna. And I was in Maitland yesterday. And I saw things in a different light. 10/8. This was a very special day in my life. It was when my very first bio nephew was born into the world. She was raised with her older brother on their parents' farm in East Franklin, Vermont, near the Canadian border. In her youth, she was extensively trained in Jesus. Alright, I gotta get through this. This is how an empath, highly sensitive, whatever, intuitive, had just found herself. In her youth, she was extensively trained in Jitsu. Maitland attended Missisquoi Valley Union High School, therefore transferring to Innsborough Falls High School near Innisburg Falls during her sophomore year. Her sophomore year. My daughter's in her sophomore year. I moved to Maryland my sophomore year. Prior to her disappearance, okay, I kind of read about that. On her 17th birthday in October 2003, she decided she wanted to move away from her parents' farm. Oh shit. Her mother, Kelly. Oh shit, it's an IE. Said there were no serious stresses at home, but that Maitland wanted more independence and to be closer to a group of friends who lived 15 miles, which is also 24 kilometers away, and attended a different high school. Maitland enrolled at her friend's high school, but her living arrangements were unstable as she moved in and out of several friends' homes. By the end of February 2004, she dropped out of high school and moved in with her childhood friend, Jillian Stout, in Sheldon, Vermont, approximately 20 miles, 32 kilometers, west of Montgomery. To complete her education, Maitland enrolled in a GED program. 3 weeks prior to her disappearance, Maitland was physically attacked at a party by a female former friend, Keeley, Keallie Lacrosse. The motive for the attack was unclear, though Brianna's father, Bruce, would later state that he believed it stemmed from jealousy over Maitland's interaction with a male peer at the party. One of Maitland's friends at the party claimed that Maitland, despite her martial arts training, refused to fight with Lacrosse, who subsequently hit her in the face several times while Maitland was seated in a truck. The altercation resulted in Maitland suffering a broken nose and concussion. She later filed charges against Lacrosse. The complaint was subsequently dropped 3 weeks after Maitland disappeared, and the police stated that Lacrosse was third of any involvement with the... When I moved to Maryland, I was approached by some people. They wanted me to join their lacrosse team, and I moved there the summer of 1989. So that's when I was approached, was the end of 89. I was 5'5" by then. I was 5'5". Okay. She was 5'5". This young lady chose differently than I chose. That was 1986. It was when she was born. I was born in 73. In the military. She was not. She's a civilian on a farm. These are the young ladies who don't know what to do out in the world, the real world. They need somebody like me. The Billie Eilishes who have not lived through life the same as others. Billie grew up disabled, but hid it very well. That's what performers do. If you watch her documentary, you'll see that that girl is suffering a lot. And she says stupid shit sometimes that she shouldn't say. And I like to teach her. If you have a young lady who needs a nanny, I'm almost done with the greenhouse. I'm in pain. I need to go R&R myself. I want to come up with a plan. I already got the establishment for May 15th. Now I need an R&R. I know exactly who I'm going to go see and where I'm going to go first. But first, virtual, I need to know who's coming with me virtually. So subscribe or whatever you want to. See ya.